when you give them access, they can go through all your photos and videos and use that information to find out who you are. People don't think about that. Like when
I'm going off the grid.
Huh?
I'm going off the grid.
Yeah,
That's
I'm telling you, man.
me.
And then when it's this is better.
Yeah, how do they get rid of this sound though?
Well, like they get better headphones. They get better mics. What? The stupid Teams. I hate Microsoft Teams with a passion. You know, we're gonna start off the podcast like that. Microsoft Teams can go and burn in a fire.
Were you there? Were you working the day that Teams went down and like everyone was freaking out?
No. Oh yeah, I
Do you
was.
remember that day?
Yeah, I was so happy that day.
Me too.
Yeah, because I didn't have much responsibility.
I was happy.
Even though we don't use it really like that, but still.
I do in my workplace.
Yeah.
Everyone was like freaking out because.
Oh my God, they wanted to work? Yeah, right.
No,
because work.
Because I don't want to talk too much about my work, but like sometimes some employees need support when they're talking to clients.
Yeah.
Like they need help.
Okay, I see.
So they're freaking out because they can't ask us for help. And I was just like, well, maybe you should use your resources then.
Learn to do your job. Okay, I'm sorry. No, you can't say that.
Hopefully nobody at my workplace is watching this episode. And if they are,
it's all good. They know it's all in jest.
Anyways, I'm just kidding.
They know it's all in jest, okay? Don't worry about it.
This coffee is making me sweat.
But welcome back to the Cousin
Connection podcast.
I feel like we should get rid of that intro. It's so like cheesy in my mind now.
But you know what? It's like our hook. It's kind of just like the thing that everyone, I'm sure those that watch or listen to us, they say it with us now.
I'm going to make an AI intro then, so we don't have to say it anymore. I'm going to take one like clean cut of us saying it, like maybe today. And like, I found these like AI animation tricks on like Adobe. Just tell it to make me an AI or animated version of the intro.
What do you mean an animated version? Like cartoons?
Like it takes like cartoon characters, you know.
Can they be based on what we look like?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No.
It's not part of your world, okay? But yeah, so I don't know. I might do something like that just so we have like, and we actually never, after 100, how many have it? 26 episodes? There's 27.
Now.
Yeah. I'm surprised we don't have an intro yet. Like an actual like official intro.
Like a jingle, you mean?
Yeah. I feel like I have the skills. I have what?
Don't you remember?
Look at me, okay?
But don't you remember
what?
We fully said that like we would try and sing our own intro?
Yeah. No. Recently I re-downloaded Fruity Loops, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if I like get back into it, I can make a good jingle.
You know what I'm picturing right now?
What?
You know the producers in that one music video that we love? It's
my life, whatever I wanna do.
It's my life, whatever I wanna do.
It's fine.
And the lyrics are so like random, but the producers are just like all in. That's gonna be
and then you see the producer in the other side goes.
That's gonna be you while I'm in here like singing, trying to sing a jingle. And you're just like, yeah, you got it. Exactly. My bad. I feel like we're clipping the mic.
It's all good. I love that video.
I know, but that thought just like came into my mind.
But honestly, if we made it, you know, just as amazing as they did, we could become a meme on the internet, and then our names will be out there. Even. Oh shoot! What did I just drop?
Your phone.
Oh, you know, actually, the case finally saved me, or like the getting a screen protector.
You have one on here?
Yeah.
I can't even tell.
That's how good of a job I did. I didn't even have to go to Pacific Mall to do that. I did it all
have an
myself.
air bubble that won't go away. I've had it for like 2 months, and I don't know what to do to get rid of it.
Is it right on the corner?
Yeah.
I think at this point it's done. It's already flipped up. But you know, I didn't have to go to Pacific Mall to get this done. I did it all by myself.
So
I did the whole like, you know, putting the tape on it, getting all the
so did I.
Microsoft. Well, clearly yours didn't work very well.
It's not that bad though. Look, if I push it down, see?
Yeah, and then like a minute later, just slowly starts coming back up. The only issue that I have with like screen protectors is that the front camera, the face camera, sometimes it like gathers dust and like builds up a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And you don't realize it until when you're using the front camera, you're like, why do I look like
grainy?
Yeah, I was about to say a word, but I don't know. You know, like
you can say that.
Can we say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
We always
because I don't know how YouTube is nowadays with like suppressing certain words, even though that's not really a bad word. Is it? But then again, whenever I'm at like the musalla or like the center and I'm telling kids not to say stuff, that is one of the words, you know? What is that whole thing? Do No, do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
That is the saying.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was what I was saying was that the screen protector actually saved me because I don't know how I was running, like I was working in the back at my office. I was working like in the shop or whatever. And I had a jacket where like the pockets are just small enough to where the phone like sits right on the edge of it. And as I was running to the back to get something, because like the UPS was there and I had to like quickly pick up the package from the other door and give it to them before they left because they leave quick.
Yeah.
So I was running and all I feel is something slip out and I feel myself kick something across the room. Like when I say kick, I mean like soccer level, like punter trying to get it on the other side of the field kind of kick. And it hit so hard against that the door.
I know your heart stopped, didn't it?
For a second, honestly, I was like, I put a case on it. It's not going to be that fine. It's not going to be fine, right? And of course, it was fine. I got like a small crack. I thought for a second that the crack, because it happened on the back where the cameras are, I was like, oh, I thought I forgot to put the cover on there, but I know that I put a cover on there now, so it's good.
You have a screen protector on the camera?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah, like you can't really see it, but like there's like a thing there that covers it.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I guess because it's so big, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was. Don't you guys have one?
No.
I feel like the iPhone's a little different because yours is like it's 4 separate things. Like it's, I don't know. It's
not
weird.
like yeah, I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah. So, but this one's like a big blocky piece across because I'm rocking an Android here. Not gonna get into that again. Okay. So what you been up to this week, Sarah?
Anyone who's on TikTok, I'm sure you guys would have heard about Reesa Teesa.
Mm-hmm.
You know who she is. Amir knows who she is, but I don't think you've ever watched.
I didn't watch it.
The 50-part
I've
series.
seen the only thing that I've seen of it are the memes that surround it.
Yeah.
Where like there was one person who put together like a YouTube compilation of it, and there's a barbershop, and everyone in the barbershop, including the barber, was like staring at the TV, listening to her tell this story.
Yeah.
I was like, for some reason, I just never had the like desire to actually sit down and watch the whole thing.
Honestly, same.
Mm-hmm.
But the week that we didn't record, I actually went on TikTok Live, and some of the people that were with me on there were like, "You need to watch the 50-part series," and I was like,
50 parts, guys.
Yeah,
and that's 50 parts. I think each part is like 10 minutes. No,
yeah, which is crazy.
This is literally like a full-on TV series.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't remember what her name was. I'm so sorry, but her Instagram name is like a little heart, and she sent me like the summarized version, and I was like, oh, thank you. So I watched that, but then I also was like, you know what, I need to do my research for the episode. So I started watching some of the episodes, and I think I got up to like episode 6, which is a whole hour's worth of content.
Actually, yeah, think about that now.
Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
So,
but is she like engaging? Like, I don't know. Is she talking slow and really like drawing it out?
So she tells stories like how I tell stories. You know, when you like every detail matters.
Yeah,
it's like that, but it's captivating. Like you're listening to everying she's saying.
So she's a good storyteller, at least.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess it wouldn't really be that popular if she sucked at telling the story.
Well, she said.
Oh, thank you for in the middle of me talking, you just have to cough, Sarah.
I apologize.
I'm playing.
She actually said the reason why she told the story in the way that she did was because she wanted it to be so that if you're not actually watching her, like you could listen to it like an audiobook. And she put it in a playlist on TikTok so that it can just play on a loop or whatever.
I wonder how much money she made off. Sorry, I know I'm going straight to
but that's okay. So that's what I want to talk about, not necessarily the story itself, because I'm sure everyone knows.
No, we should probably tell the story too. Can you give at least like a summary of what happened?
Okay, the summary is that she met this guy on a dating app, and
the only thing I know is that his name was Legion.
I don't know if that's his actual
name. It's
name.
not his actual name?
I can't. Okay, that part I know everyone calls him that.
Okay.
But I don't know if for legal reasons that was like his nickname.
Oh, okay.
That's the only thing.
But she gave the name Legion though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And like
nobody cares about what his real name is.
Did you see what he did though?
What?
He made like in response to her videos.
I saw Netflix.
He photoshopped the Netflix headquarters.
Well, first off, he's like, yo, I'm going to Netflix to sell this story to everyone, and then like people are like, oh, you're lying. So then that's what you're talking about there.
Yeah.
He literally photoshopped himself at Netflix.
Yeah.
And I think someone like asked him to show video or. Oh, no, sorry. The first image, because this is the one video that I saw. I saw a lot of aftermath and like reactions to it, but not the actual story.
Yeah.
So first he posted a picture of a poster or like something like a decal on a wall, and then quickly people were like, yeah, you clearly got this off of like Google Images, because it was like it was a wall at Netflix Singapore or something like that. It wasn't even in his own country.
Funny.
And people were like, you could literally, it's one Google search, like at least try hard here, right?
Right.
And then he's like, oh, y'all still don't believe me? And that's when he posted the image of a he green screened himself into the Netflix studios. And yeah, he was really gaslighting everyone, honestly.
It's just it's comical
Mm-hmm.
because of how ridiculous it is. But
yeah, sorry, I cut you off there at the beginning. Yeah,
that's okay. So basically, she meets him on a dating app. I can't remember which one, and he appears to basically just be like the perfect guy for her.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny because I'm like, now I'm recalling the first couple episodes where she talks about the background of like how she met him and like where they went. And the crazy thing about all of this is that like he was still paying for stuff. Like, so for example, she was on her way to their first date, and it was it Cheesecake Factory? I think it was Cheesecake Factory. And then she got like a flat tire or something.
Yeah.
He like came and met her.
Yeah.
He bought her all new tires. And tires are not cheap.
Oh, so she was like, oh, this is my knight in shining armor kind of thing.
Yeah. Like anyone would though. And he like changed it for her.
Yeah.
Like he literally changed her tires for her. Or maybe he didn't. I think he took it to a shop. I can't remember. But anyways, they go to Cheesecake Factory, whatever. She has a good time. Then, they talk about like getting property together. Yeah. And he's saying that he's like pre-approved for a house of like a certain amount of
How
dollars.
long were they together before they started getting property together?
Was it like a couple months? Maybe a
couple months?
Yeah.
I guess people be moving. I'm like, okay, whatever.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So he had like documentation to prove that he was pre-approved for a home. Yeah. Like from the Chase Bank. But I don't know if it was real or not. Like I genuinely don't know if it was real or not. Like that part is a little confusing. Maybe he forged it. I'm not sure. But it was like unofficial letterhead and stuff. It
was probably fake, honestly.
You think so?
Yeah, because
actually, yeah.
I think I don't remember this part, because remember, I'm only talking about reactions to it. Someone mentioned something about documents and how he Googled them, but I don't know if it was in regards to the house. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure everything he was providing was fake, because there was one twist that I found out afterwards that you might get to. I
might not. I don't know.
How much of this do you know? Do I know more about this than you do? And I don't know nothing.
I was really skimming through it. Yeah. I was trying to listen to it while working.
Okay. Yeah. Podcasts. You can listen to podcasts while working. Why not?
I know. But then like sometimes like I would have zoned out because I'm concentrating on work. And then I miss the whole thing that she says. I'm like, crap, I got to come back to it now. But he's like not a pathological liar, but the other type of liar. There's like the one where he's like clinically not okay. Compulsive liar.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Anyways, he like lied so much about literally everything.
But isn't it pathological if you like set it up ahead of time? Compulsive would mean like you just lie for the sake of it. Like you're not really even prepared to lie about it, but you just lie. But wouldn't psychological pathological mean like you're like thinking about it? Yeah, your preemptive stuff.
Probably then. I think so.
I don't think the details matter. We just know that he's a liar.
Yeah, like a bad lie, like a good liar. Sorry, because she believed him. And then so what I was telling Amir off camera before we started recording was this specific detail. So I think he like promised to get her a specific type of BMW, like SUV, specific colors and all that kind of stuff, right? So that detail about that car kind of blew up, and that's like what was circulating TikTok, right? It went viral, and then BMW then took this opportunity to obviously, ride the wave of fame, or at least the marketing's like they took it and they ran with it. And so they posted a picture of that car that she wanted. Yeah. And they were like something like ready when you are, or something like kind of sort of like indirectly implying that they would gift it to her, which if you're thinking about like marketing 101, yeah, when you're getting that much, like millions of people are Googling this car, like that's free marketing for you that you would normally spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on. Exactly. You might as well just gift her the car. Like that's literally how
she got gifted a car from it at least?
No.
What?
Yeah. they didn't gift her the car. They just used the newfound popularity that she got for that car. Like they used that to
They
market
sent
the
her
car.
a message saying "ready when you are."
They posted it on TikTok, a video.
But when they say "ready when you are," do they are they directing it towards her or just saying it to anyone?
No, they added her. Like they said it towards her.
Oh,
but they
no,
never.
That's sus, man. You can't
On
like,
their part?
Yeah, on their part.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, like
you're making it seem like, oh, you know, we felt bad for you,
Right.
and we're gonna gift you a car.
Right. And you know what's crazy is that like, do you remember that one video of that girl's car that went on fire and she had a Stanley Cup that didn't catch on fire?
Oh yeah.
And then the company gifted her a brand new car.
Really?
Yeah, because they were like, sorry about your car, but you know, glad that your Stanley survived. Here's a new car.
Yeah.
Which is like marketing 101.
You know what the difference between them was?
What?
She was white.
But you know what? Like I kind of thought about.
I'm just throwing that in there. Okay.
It's a possibility.
No, yeah.
I'm sure it's a possibility. Like I'm pretty sure she's probably in talks of like with Tyler Perry. He's gonna make this into a Tyler Perry movie.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
Right?
That.
Like
Yeah.
I'm like.
This is like his bread and butter. Like.
And isn't his studio in
Black
Atlanta?
relationships. What?
Isn't his studio in Atlanta?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and she's in Atlanta. She's based there.
But unfortunately, like, she already gave up the story. That's the thing. Like, now anyone can take that. But I don't know what the legal ramifications are of like taking someone else's story and adapting it yourself. But like,
yeah, I'm sure there's some.
Because they can just say, oh, we already had a similar idea. Or they might take like aspects of the story because it can be somewhat generic. And like, you know, you have a dude who's like a pathological liar and, you know, is setting and has like a double life. You can just say, oh, it's just another double life story. But that's something for them to figure out if they actually do something like that.
I'm sure she's in talks, and like, who knows, she might even turn this into an actual audiobook.
Yeah, well, the guy's definitely in talks too.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
But the one twist, okay, so maybe we know just as much because I've only heard the aftermath. I haven't actually seen her thing, but someone summarized it as well. And they said, like, yeah, he basically was lying about this. They were apparently going to have a child together, which sped up their relationship. And she ended up actually having a miscarriage, unfortunately. So thankfully, nothing like that came out of the situation where she's kind of stuck with this man forever.
Right.
You know, even though it's a horrible situation, it's like the silver lining in that. And she like started catching him in all these lies. And then she found out, this is the thing that I found. She found out later that, or how it all fell apart is that he has a brother. And a lot of the information he was... You didn't know this?
No, I didn't know. I didn't get that
okay,
far.
guys, Sarah
I
brought
didn't
this
get
story
that
up, but I literally know more about it than she does.
I never got that far.
He has a twin brother, and that's all the information he's been getting. Like, that's how he... Apparently, he's been using someone else's his brother's social security number or something like that.
Two different ones. Is this the brother that reached out to her after she
yeah,
released the
exactly.
story and said like he's not in talk, like they don't
yeah, because a reason that he reached out to her is because he would say the Legion, whatever, would say that, or not say, but every morning he would wake up and speak to his siblings for like a full-on hour.
Yeah, that part
on the phone. She said every single morning he would do this for a full-on hour. And then her brother called in, or his brother later called in and saying like, yeah, I haven't spoken to him in like 5 years since like our mom passed away or something like that. And she's like, well, you haven't been speaking to him every morning? He's like, nah. And she realized that he literally was speaking to himself. Legion was literally speaking to himself every single morning.
Crazy.
That's how dedicated he was to this lie.
I saw that video where she was talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember her saying like, who was he talking to for hours then?
Yeah.
Every day.
He was talking to himself.
You're telling me this man just picked up no one on the other side and just had a whole conversation?
Exactly. But to himself.
He's not okay mentally.
No, he's not. I think she eventually said that like he was diagnosed with like bipolar disorder and something else. But he's definitely not, like he needs help for sure. And like his family has been trying to get, and the thing is that the reason they actually disconnected or they lost connection with him is because they were trying to get help. Should we stop the podcast?
No, I'm sorry.
Let me get you water. Go and get water. No,
I'm okay.
No, go and get water.
I promise. This is just how.
Are you sure?
Yeah, ever since I got sick, I won't go.
Are you sure you don't have... Do you have long maybe?
No. You know what? It feels like something stuck in your throat.
Go and get water. Okay, guys, we might. I don't know. We might have to end the podcast. Or we're gonna have to end it soon.
No, we're good.
Are you sure?
I'm good.
Okay, guys, but Sada might be dying halfway through this episode. I'm just saying. Okay.
I will make sure to. Push
I can even hear. I could hear that. Your voice definitely sounded a lot more coarse.
I know. I don't know how to get rid of it. I think
Okay.
I have black seed oil at home. I'm gonna have some of that.
Okay. Well, where were we at
Sorry
before
about
he
that.
started dying in front of me? And
The fact that he was talking to nobody.
yeah, he was talking to nobody. Why'd that laugh? It sounded so coarse. Because it's in your throat. Oh my God, Sarah.
I'm good.
Oh shoot!
it
This
came
might be a
out.
lost episode. We'll see. I don't know. Okay. See, you're coughing too. You're sweating too because of how much you're coughing. Are you sure you're gonna be okay?
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
guys.
you know.
Honestly, stay safe out there because whatever I had a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I bet. I'm telling you, it's probably like a next level. What do you call it? Variant of
No.
what was happening before. No.
Because I got after a week, I was fine. It's just a lingering cough.
It's been like 3 weeks. No.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn. Okay. Well,
You'll be fine.
Okay. Well,
You
I
already
think we'll
got
be
the
fine.
sickness, right?
Huh?
You already got it, right?
The sickness, is that what we're calling it now? Oh, just so we don't get that little thing at the bottom of the video
Yeah.
say.
You can't use the C word.
Exactly. But yeah, so that whole go ahead, sorry.
But the reason why I was gonna even bring up Reesa Teesa was because, like, we're really now in a time where you could go viral for anything. But I also think her story went. It
You could
became
always you could always go viral for anything.
But this is like next level. Like millions of people are watching this like 50-part
Yeah.
series.
But you have to give credit to the person, because if I had a story like that, I would not have gone viral. I don't know how to tell stories like that. But it's a
do.
combination. It depends. But like,
I think it was like the relatability because
that's the thing.
she fell for somebody who said that they were someone when they weren't. And
Yeah.
it's kind of like a common experience that a lot of people go through, men or women.
Yeah,
you know
one
what
of
I
the
mean?
unfortunate things is that, like, something that we talk about a lot is that she felt like she saw a lot of these red flags,
Yeah.
but she's still stuck with him because she's like, am I gonna find another man to like take on these responsibilities? Like, I'm at this point, I'm older, like I'm just looking for someone to settle down with. It's the whole thing of like lowering your standards, right? She was like lowering her standards and looking over a lot of things just so she can hope at the end hope that everything kind of works out.
But that's the thing. And like, I feel like in our episodes where we actually speak about relationships, I know this episode is not about that, but on that note, regardless of how old you are, if you are in the market in the market. Why'd I say that? In the market?
Yeah, in the market it works.
Does it? If you're
It
single,
depends on what you're gonna say next. I don't know
I
what
was
you're
gonna
gonna say
like
next.
if you're single and you're looking to meet somebody,
Yeah, and that's
to
in the
marry.
market. Yeah. Okay.
If you're in the market for a new man or a new woman, whatever,
Yeah.
trying to find your life partner, even it doesn't matter how old you are, you should never let like this whole concept of
Am I gonna find someone better?
am I gonna find someone better or like, I need to settle down now because my time is running out. Like you should never let that force you to lower your standards just for the sake of getting with somebody. Because at the end of the day, like if you decide to just go for someone who might not actually be the right person for you, and they don't treat you well, maybe they're not respectful, or they're not the type of person that you actually want, you're just getting with them because maybe they like you and you're like, let me just give them a chance. What's the point of being with somebody like that if eventually it's going to end because it's not the person for you? Like, I think we need to, I'm like losing my words. I know there's a word for it and I've used it before and I can't remember. But anyways, don't let that pressure get to you. Because I feel like so many people, men or women, are like, if not now, then when? And I'm sure there's pressures from your family, your friend.
But it's only human to like.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like that's not, like I haven't had that thought process where I'm like, I could just go for like that guy. But that's not who I want. Like, why would I, like, I have that like internal dialogue with myself.
Yeah.
When I have like you or like my other cousins or family or whatever that are like, come on, Sara, like.
But one thing you hope, like you mentioned, family, friends, one thing you hope is that the people that are surrounding you
Yeah.
have better sense, like if they see these same red flags, or like they see that maybe you're not going for someone that they feel is worthy for you, that they have the sense to like say that and like bring that up and try and make you see their perspective.
It's hard though, because unless your family or friends or people that you surround yourself with know that person well enough to say like, this person's not good for you, it's kind of hard to comment on that, you know?
Definitely, yeah. It would require like a lot more in-person interaction, like
yes,
yeah.
like,
But some people get a feel for it. Like usually, I feel like I have a pretty good like sixth sense of like whether you're a dirtbag or not.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you know in the past, like to anyone that I've ever introduced you to, like did you ever get a sense like she shouldn't go for this person?
But I never knew if you were introducing me in that sense though. That's the thing, right? Like I'm always so like not delirious, but like not delirious. What's the word? Delusional. Not delusional.
No, not delusional.
What's the word? When you just don't know what's going on.
Not absent-minded, but
there's a word for it. You guys have called me it multiple times. It starts with a D, I think. Distracted. No. These are like all the synonyms to that one word. Come on, Miss Synonym. Where are you?
I was gonna say, who's Miss Synonym now? No. Why are you insulting yourself?
I'm not.
Obtuse. You were gonna say
not obtuse. Okay, that doesn't even work. Technically, it would be obtuse, because to be acute is to be like on point, and to be obtuse is to be like
you're just not like paying attention in that sense.
Yeah.
I don't know what the word is, but yeah.
Everyone who's listening knows what we're talking about.
They're probably shouting at their screens right now like,
we're professionals, guys.
I mean, I guess so. I think in the future, I probably would just tell you, because I feel like now you probably know me better now than you ever have before.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So you'd probably be like, no, Sara.
Yeah. And also, I feel like you guys assume that we would just be able to tell that, like, whether you're introducing someone in like that sense.
Yeah, isn't it?
But I'm like more forthright about it, if that makes sense. Yeah, like for me, I'm like, tell me if this is the right decision or not.
No, but like in the past when I've done it, like the girl, like your sister was there.
Yeah,
like,
they all could tell.
They all knew, and
I did not know.
And we would still be in that gathering, and they would just look at me and be like
really? No. Oh my God. Was I there too?
Yes. Yeah.
I did not know.
They would like literally signal me like, no, girl, this ain't it. And I'm like, all right. Damn.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Because like my question, if I knew, my questions would be different. Like how I interact with the person would be different.
Yeah.
Like if I know that there's no like stakes here when it comes to how I'm interacting with this certain person, maybe you want me to get to know them more, then I'm just going to be like very surface level, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like if I know that this is a potential for someone that I know, then I'm going to be a lot more, I'm going to dig a little deeper. I'm going to be like, so Andrew Tate, like, like he's been on the internet recently. Like, what's your thoughts on him? Okay. Trump so 2024? Like,
Amir scoping out the scene.
Or who else is the fact that I'm using like American references too,
I know.
Like, I can't say like what's the Conservative Party's leader
here,
but I feel like over here is different with conservative and liberal, that kind of thing. Like you can sort of, I don't know if we can, because I'm so not I don't know what's going on with Canadian politics as much as American politics.
I feel like you pay attention more than I do.
I do pay attention, but like I wish I knew more of like their actual policies and stuff. Yeah. But that's just an issue with a lot of, and you know, I'll work on that. Maybe we should make a channel where we like learn more about something. And, like learn more. Here's
like
learn with
for
us.
dummies.
Yeah, like politics for dummies. Let's make a like learning for dummies channel.
Learn with Cousin Connection.
Yeah, we might get copyrighted for using that name, because I feel like that for dummies is like copyrighted or whatever.
It has to be.
Yeah, at this point.
Has to be. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, like the whole point that I was trying to make was like, don't settle. Like don't, like, no matter what you do, this life is already short in and of itself. Yeah. Like why? Think of it this way. Like I feel like picking your life partner is such a big investment. Or just like such a big decision, because this is the person that's supposed to stick with you for life. Yeah. So why wouldn't you want to scope out and find the best of the best for you. You know what I mean? And then I think you also have to remember, like, this person is for you. So yes, maybe like at first, like your friends or family may not be ecstatic. Like some people give off different impressions for the first time, you know, it just depends on who they are.
Yeah.
Like some people are really great at first impressions, and some it takes time to like get to know them. But I think at the end of the day, like, really just do your research, spend time with that person, or ask the important questions that you need to.
Counseling. Just saying, premarital counseling, big deal. Because there are a lot of questions that you may not even think of, or like because a lot of people, some people are like conflict avoidant. Is that the word for it? Where they just try to avoid any type of conflict in a relationship, or they feel like something is kind of too big to bring out. But when you're like at that level, especially in Islamic relationships where it's very quick, sometimes the process is very quick.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you're addressing those, and sometimes you need it in an environment where everybody feels safe, whether it be in like in-person counseling or online counseling, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's definitely very important to like get deeper into those questions and like find out more about each other in a way that in an environment where you don't feel like you'll be judged, or feel like it may lead to something drastic, disastrous, whatever. Yeah, for the relationship.
That's really great advice. I think as first generation, like Canadian American, whatever, wherever wherever you live, there, I feel like we've had to do a lot of unlearning of things that we kind of saw growing up. And that's not to discredit our parents, of course, because at the end of the day, like, it's their first time doing life too. You know what I mean? They're just doing the best that they can. And as are we. And we are all, you know, we all have that privilege. The fact that we could even go to counseling is a privilege. So as long as we recognize that, and then we do the best that we can within that space, like that's really good. Good job.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's really mature.
Just trying to help out people here, the listeners and everything. Okay, the watchers,
the listeners.
Yeah. So hopefully everything works out for Reesa Teesa. You know, with all that money, hopefully, I don't know how TikTok's.
Well, she definitely has it better than like a Canadian creator, for example.
Yeah, the fact that Canadian creators still can't make money on TikTok is
it's crazy.
Annoying.
So annoying.
Outside of like donations, direct donations.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know how it works. Like on YouTube, you had to like fit a certain criteria before you started making money, or like certain prerequisites before you can start making money, and then you had to like apply for it. And
I'm sure
there's like a application process. But like, how many? When she was coming out with these parts, did she come out with them like?
Not all in one day.
But was she doing like one per day or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Because by the time it maybe hit, like, you know how TikTok is. Like sometimes people will come out with a whole series, but it won't hit the mainstream until like 2 weeks later. Or sometimes you'll get like videos. I don't know about you. I'll get videos from like 6 months ago.
Yeah, my For You page has been doing that.
Yeah, it does that a lot. And then you'll randomly get videos with 0 views, and it'll be like the most awkward video. Yeah, has it?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine hasn't done it in a while. But what you do usually, just a little trick, is you go to your following page and you start like watching stuff from there. And then when you go back, it'll like kind of reset your timeline to the things that you originally followed. Because I'm assuming that like the things that you follow are things that you want to see, right? So
yeah.
If you want to go back to your normal For You page, it'll kind of give you stuff in that realm. It'll actually start feeding you. Because I feel bad, like you follow people, but it never gives you it again. Because TikTok does that. It purposely does that. It just wants you, it feeds you the newest things all the time, right? It's not about, like if someone, let's say there's a page that I follow, like there's an electrician page I follow, right? I literally didn't see this guy's videos for a whole year. And I went to my For You page, or not For You page, sorry, my following page, and he was still posting every single day.
Damn.
But I just never got it. And then I liked a couple of them, and then I went back to my normal For You page, and I started getting them again. But maybe sometimes weird. The thing is that TikTok knows you more than you know yourself.
How?
Which is weird. All of these apps know you more than you know yourself, because it might have realized just from how you're watching, because it's paying attention to everything. Okay, they have access to your camera, your mics, your finger touch thing, whatever. They can tell like when you start like scrolling slightly, when you come back, how long it takes you to like it, how long, where your eyes are averting to, how fast you go to the comments, all these things.
Are you sure?
Yeah, all these things are being accounted for.
kind of creepy.
Watch Joan is Awful. Okay, I already told. I think I already.
I
told
did
you about
watch
that.
it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Did we watch it together?
Yeah. You forced me to watch it. Remember?
Oh shoot, I forgot about that. Yeah, but so that one's like pretty much a good example of how much insight they have into your daily activities. Even if you don't think that something is on, like you don't have your phone in front of you, whatever, they can get context from it. They can hear certain sounds around you. And because all these companies are selling information to each other, like it might hear like a TikTok. There's a TikTok sound you that keeps replaying, like because maybe you liked one video and that song in that TikTok sound, because your mic heard you listening to that and how long it heard you listening to that, Spotify might buy that information, or they already have access to that information, and they'll next time on the next playlist they'll put that song into your playlist, and because they know that you like it. There's someone who's breaking this down. That's how connected everything is.
Can I tell you what happened to me?
What?
This was like 2 weeks ago now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was with my parents and my aunt, uncle, and my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
They came over, and I don't know why, but my dad was watching this like monkey video on YouTube.
Oh, you're probably loving this.
Of course I was, but I was watching
monkey
it.
videos.
I love
like to a concerning degree. Okay.
Do you see all the ones I've been sending you?
Yeah. Were you the one who sent me the monkey who got out after like years of being in captivity?
Yeah, and then he hugged the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah.
So after I watched that video, and it was on YouTube, I was not even on my phone.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, tell me why I get monkey videos on TikTok, and I've never gotten them before.
Your phone didn't even have to be in the room. It just heard the sound of monkeys.
Yeah, I didn't have my phone on me. That's the creepy thing. I'm like, yo, this is weird.
Maybe it's like going into your memory at this point.
So weird. Like, it's so...
Like,
I don't know.
What's his name? Elon Musk is coming out with like the Cyberlink. Have you heard of that?
No, what's that?
Or is it Neuralink? Sorry, it's called the Neuralink.
Yes, where it's supposed to work with like your brain.
It connects to your brain, so you can like control things with your brain.
But there was a kid who actually had like did you see that video where he actually created like a prototype for it, where it looked like some sort of headset that you wear.
Oh yeah.
And now he's like ripping off his idea. But no one's ever heard of that.
People have been able to do that before, where they have these headsets that you can connect, and you can like basically. The new Vision Pro kind of does that, right? Where it like has cameras pointing towards your eyes and can tell what you're looking at, and like it points on it, whatever. But his is more advanced, of course, because he has like probes connected to his head. But the difference in Neuralink is that they're implanting it into you, like they're literally doing surgery and implanting it, connecting it to your brain on the inside.
Why would you want that?
Well, they started human trials on that, so
who volunteered for that?
Honestly, why are you like concerned? Not concerned. Why are you surprised that people are applying for this? Right? Like this is clearly something that a lot of people are interested in, because there are people who just really love new technology and are willing to risk or willing to give as much information as they need to get access to that. So it makes sense just from seeing growth of technology and all that stuff. But wait, honestly, when you're shaking your head, there are people probably like 15 years ago who are being like, why would you give all your information to these apps and stuff to be able to like access your contacts and like access your videos and your photos? Because when you give them access to your photos and videos, it's not just so you can post them on their pages, right? When you give them access, they can go through all your photos and videos and use that information to find out who you are. People don't think about that. Like when
I'm going off the grid.
Huh?
I'm going off the grid.
Yeah,
That's
I'm telling you, man. And then when it has like when they get access to your contact list, like they're taking all those numbers and the names that are
That's
associated
illegal,
with them.
isn't it?
No, you're saying allow. You're giving access to them.
I don't give
in the fine
to
print. You're giving them access to it. But I'm sure there are multiple apps that do have it that you don't realize because you allowed it many years ago when this wasn't even a thought process or wasn't a thing that you were thinking of.
That's so messed up.
Yeah, I mean, it was it's how it is these days. People are selling each other's information. They know everything about us at this point. You have face unlock, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. They're using that. They can recognize your face. They have face recognition of you now. Yeah, the face you're making right now, your fingerprint. They have fingerprint access now.
Once upon a time, I used my mom's phone, and it thought I was her, and it unlocked.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
But yes, like you guys don't look that much alike.
I guess I don't know how. I honestly don't know how, but I was able to unlock it with Face ID, and I was like, this has to be a
This is an
glitch.
iPhone?
Yeah. I don't know how it happened.
An Android Face ID would never do that. First off, it never recognizes even my own face.
You know what's crazy though?
What?
Like during the pandemic, Apple came out with an update where it can recognize your face even if you're wearing a mask.
Oh yeah,
It's crazy.
because I think the difference with like the regular Android, or not Android, but like my Pixel's Face ID, it's very rudimentary. It just has like a camera that points at you and kind of uses AI to kind of figure who you are. But I think Apple uses like IR, is it IR? Infrared to kind of map out your face.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, because infrared, that's why in the dark you can still use Face ID. Can you still use Face ID in the dark? Because instead of using your regular camera, they're using infrared, which is like a different wavelength that doesn't matter if it's day or light.
That's pretty legit because mine recognizes me even without my glasses on.
Yeah, it's not that hard, okay? Like,
Yours doesn't even recognize me, okay?
yeah, for real. But yeah, so what were you originally talking about? Shoot, I forgot. You know what I want to talk about?
What?
You know what I watched the other day?
What?
So I've been doing this thing where I like go to the theater by myself.
You went to the movie theater by yourself?
Okay, for like certain movies. I've only done it twice.
Movies are still coming out?
You don't know what came out?
No.
The greatest movie of the year?
It's probably Avatar.
Dune Part 2?
Oh.
First off, Avatar was the TV show. I'll get into that.
I was gonna watch it, but
I'll get into that. I don't even.
I knew you weren't a fan.
Okay.
I know.
But when I say Dune Part 2, so first off, when Dune Part 1 came out, when I heard about even Dune being made, like I knew about Dune in the in the past.
Didn't you read the book?
I read once I heard that it was being made into a movie, I was like, I've always been interested in Dune. I might as well pick up the book. It was in the middle of
The pandemic.
So I had plenty of time. I was doing my walks every day, so I bought the book. I read it. I loved it. And then I bought the second book. I read it. I loved it. It has like 6 books in the series, but the first 2 books kind of cover the storyline of like the quote unquote main character. Like the main character kind of shifts, but he was sort of the main character of the story, which is the guy Paul. His name's Paul, but he's played by Timothée Chalamet. So I read the books. I loved it. I was like waiting for the movie. Finally, Part 1 came out, but this was in the middle of the pandemic when like everything was closed. So they came out on HBO Max, and it was like a slow movie, but it definitely got me like excited because I knew what was gonna happen, but I never knew like how good it would be. Like judging off the first part, I was like, I knew it was gonna be good, but like this was literally Dune Part 2 is probably one of the best movies I've seen in like the past 5-6 years, like almost in the past decade.
What?
Yes,
That's a big
like
claim
on
here.
all levels, this movie was like a masterpiece. When I say like the visuals were crazy, the action set pieces were crazy, the editing was good, the acting was good, the soundtrack was like, it was to the point where like there are certain parts where I got emotional during the movie, and even walking out of the movie, I got emotional just from like how good it was. And I was trying to even like dissect like, why do I feel this way? Like in the movie, I got emotional because it was actually like really good, like the spectacle of it. Because I watched it in IMAX, and when you're watching, if you're gonna watch this movie, watch it in IMAX. And I even got a review, well, secondhand, but I got a review from someone who watched it without watching the first part. First off, you should definitely watch the first part. You won't know what's going on.
Ask, like,
yeah, you won't know what's going on if you don't watch the first part, but you can find the first part online anyways. But even this person who didn't watch the first part still loved the movie and said it was amazing. So that just shows you, because like they don't waste a minute of your time. It doesn't slow down. The pacing is perfect. The acting keeps you engaged the whole time. The shots keep you engaged. They switch it up in ways that you've never seen before. Like there's literally one part of the movie where it's completely black and white, but it's not your regular black and white. Because it takes place on a planet where it's a space opera kind of movie, right? Or a sci-fi movie, and it takes place on a planet where the sun only gives off ultraviolet light. So because of that, everything is in black and white, and they wanted to display this on cameras in an interesting way, and just making it black and white wouldn't have been interesting. So they actually filmed all the scenes in infrared light. So I was speaking about infrared, which is like a wave of light that we can't see, but they can film it on camera, and it's still black and white, but it's different. Like the blacks are blacker, the whites are whiter. It's such an interesting way of filming, and that just took it to another level. There are parts of the movie where something amazing, like something crazy, is going on in on the screen, and the room is literally shaking from just the bass of the sound. That's why I'm saying watch it in IMAX, because the sound is literally, in most like anything, is 50% of it, and you definitely feel that 50% coming at in those moments. And the way they play with like the quiet versus the noise, and like the juxtaposition between them, and they take advantage of that in every aspect they can, and it shows on camera and in what's going on in the scenes.
You should review movies. Like, you're doing such a good job. I want to watch it now.
I'm telling you, you should definitely watch it. Watch part 1. I will watch
Okay, we'll go.
part 2 again with you.
Okay, fine. I'll find out.
It's a 3-hour movie though, but it's worth it. No, wait.
Avatar, that was like 4 hours or something.
First off,
crazy.
Avatar's a TV show, so
No,
forget
the
about
movie Avatar, the blue guys.
that doesn't. That's Avatar you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh,
What were you talking
The
about?
Last Airbender.
Come on, Amir. You think I was gonna watch that? I did see that was out there. Did you like it?
We'll get into that.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the premise of Dune? Like, what's the general synopsis?
Okay, so general synopsis. So Dune, it takes place on a planet called Arrakis.
Okay.
And the Arrakis has a resource called spice, which is like, essentially it's like their fuel. Think of it like oil, our equivalent to oil.
Gotcha.
So everything runs on this spice. So that's why this planet is so important to everyone, right? And whoever controls Arrakis controls everything, essentially. It starts off, the first part starts off with Paul's family, the Atreides family. They end up getting control of this planet through the Emperor. The Emperor is the person who who tells everybody he has control over everyone at this point. And he tells the Atreides family to take it over from the Harkonnens. Harkonnens are a different family. There's 9 families in total, I believe. But this is between the Harkonnens and the Atreides. And the Harkonnens, they don't like this. They don't like getting kicked off of this planet. So they end up doing a sneak attack, and they end up killing basically, killing the whole Atreides family except for Paul and his mom. So they escape, and this story is basically following Paul, who through like different things being set up by like his mother, who's part of a group called the Bene Gesserit. Basically, they're like super women. Like they have like powers where they can control people with their voice, and like it's very sci-fi, right? But they set up this story on the planet where they basically made him into like a prophetic figure, and he doesn't want this, and it's following his story of him trying to reject this prophetic story that they made up for him, so he can gain control of the planet, but him kind of like trying to avoid the inevitable. Sorry, there's a big aspect of it I forgot to mention. On this planet Arrakis, there's a people called the Fremen. And the Fremen, they're the indigenous people to this land. And essentially all these people who came for the spice like are trying to kill all the Fremen, because the Fremen are like, why are you on our land? Very relevant also to what's going on right now. We know what's going on in Palestine. So that's also another aspect that really connects even us to it, because the guy who actually wrote Dune, his name is Frank Herbert. He got a lot of inspiration, especially when I talk about like the prophetic setup of the story. Like he got a lot of inspiration from Islam and Christianity.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you see a lot of the Fremen. They have a lot of they remind you a lot of like Muslims in a way that like even in the movie they're portrayed as like wearing like Islamic garb, like a lot of the men, not the men, but the women are wearing like fully covered headdresses, everything like that. It's very cognizant of that. But then there's also a lot of like Christian influence there as well, or at least early Christian influence. So that's also another aspect that kind of like connects us to it. And they actually call him at one point the Mahdi, because, and that's an actual thing in the book, because he took inspiration from the idea that there's going to be a new like prophet coming called the Mahdi and all that kind of stuff. But the interesting thing is that like usually this is taking place 10,000 years in the future. And usually when you think future, you think like, futuristic technology. But in the past, 10,000 years earlier, there was a whole like AI versus human war, which is very relevant to what's going on now. And because of that, because AI tried to take over, they ended up defeating the AI, the robots, but they outlawed any technology that would be smarter than humans. So now this is 10,000 years in the future where the smartest humans are these people called mentats. Like, this is just deep information. You don't really need to know right now, but like essentially they're able to do like superhuman calculations in their mind. And it's just interesting seeing a different take on like sci-fi, where usually when you see futuristic stuff, you're like all like AI technology and all these like gadgets and stuff, but everything there is very rudimentary. It's like you can still see dials and all this stuff. And so it's a very interesting story, seeing how he interacts with the Fremen. And like I don't want to give away too much. That's the thing, when you're trying not to give away too much, but it's a very relevant to the times, which is why I think it's very important for everyone to see. And it may even change people's, I know it might be a little too much wishful thinking, but it may change people's minds on what's going on in Palestine, right? So yeah, it's very interesting, and I feel like everyone should watch it. Just like everything about it is amazing.
Okay, I'll give the first one a shot.
And you can look up any reviews. They'll back me up on this. Okay, I don't think I've seen one negative review on this yet.
I'd rather watch it, like blind watch it, because I don't want to read reviews and then like have preconceived notions.
Watch the first part.
Yeah,
the first part definitely is a lot slower.
Oh,
it's not like a lot of big action set pieces except for near the end, but it's a great setup for the second part. And they're both still good movies, but the second movie is like, it's next level. And they're going to be coming out with a third part. Yeah.
Okay,
so
cool.
It's very, very good. And I think the reason, actually, I was dissecting it afterwards. I was wondering why I was so like, I got so emotional afterwards, because I think I was trying to talk to someone about it. I was like explaining to them. And I think it's because like, for once, nerds specifically, we've been burned so much recently with like adaptations of material that we beloved as children, or like as we were growing up, that to see someone finally actually take the love and care and respect towards an IP that you also love, it was almost like relieving, right? Because you're kind of holding your breath, being like, please don't mess this up, please don't mess this up. And I already knew that it was gonna be good just from hearing early reviews, but when you go out and see it and it's even bigger, or like even it surpasses your expectations, then you're like, it's overwhelming at that point, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's why I got so emotional afterwards as well, because like you didn't mess it up, right? Even though, like, as a person who read the books, there are certain parts that were left out, but I'm like, it makes sense that they left those things out, because you can't really adapt everything in a book, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like the same critiques that a lot of people who read Harry Potter have, right? But the thing is, for me, as a person who didn't read all the Harry Potter books, I felt like the Harry Potter movies were perfect in my eyes. Like,
Same.
Whatever they did leave out that those people have gripes about, I don't think they're important, because they still make good movies.
Right.
So when they came out with this and everything went fine, you could tell like the directors and everyone was passionate about the project. That was something that like, yeah, really hit me at that moment. And also I think it's because to give examples of other things that weren't doing well, like Star Wars completely ruined at this point, Marvel completely ruined. So like I'm a fan of a lot of these bigger IPs that have been solely like ripped apart, or not ripped apart, but like they keep making cash grabs and assuming that us as fans will keep and go out and watching it. And even though we do go out and kind of watch it, it's I guess heartbreaking in a way, like being like it's
disappointing.
Yeah, it's disappointing, exactly, because they're taking advantage of our like fandom and our love for the material. So yeah, it was just exciting to see that. And another example recently is Avatar: The Last Airbender, which came out with a TV series,
live action, right?
A live action TV series, right? And like the thing is that I was also holding out hope too for this one, even though there were a lot of naysayers on the internet even before it came out saying like, the casting is kind of weird. Like the casting was okay, but I think they were having a lot of gripes about like the CGI and
was it not good?
I'll get into that, but like they had gripes about the CGI initially because it kind of looked odd, and I was like, honestly, I don't care as long as the story's good or whatever. And then in regards to the story, like certain writers for the show started coming out and saying like, yeah, we skipped all these what we call filler episodes so we can just, you know, get the story done within these 8 episodes and like make sure that we show all the important parts. But then you realize later that the filler episodes they were speaking about are the parts that like were huge for character development and creating relationships, because the story of Avatar, a lot about it is like them the love between the characters and like them growing together and going through this journey together, right? But they missed that they missed that point for the Avatar show, and they're kind of like, from what I've seen already, I didn't even watch the full thing yet. I normally, if I'm really excited about it, I'll watch it all together, but it kind of like let me down in that aspect. But I know this isn't your one. Okay,
No,
yeah,
I'm listening.
But yeah, so like as I was watching it, a lot of it sucks when the internet was right about something, right? Like all the gripes they had.
But you got a fair warning.
What do you mean?
Like they told you it wasn't going to be good.
No, but they don't know because they haven't seen it, right?
Oh, they're just assuming?
They're just assuming. And you don't want them to be right. But then when they are right, you're like, come on, guys. And it wasn't, the thing is that from what I've seen now, it's not horrible. Like it's not the worst thing.
For someone who's never actually seen the original Avatar, like if
Yeah.
I was to watch the live action version, would I like it?
You might like it. Yeah, you might like it because you don't see what they're skipping on, what they're skipping. And I haven't finished it yet, so I can't say for sure you would like it, but you know, you would enjoy the first few episodes at least, right?
Okay.
Because you don't know what it's leading to, and also you don't know what's missing or what they're kind of like molding together, what stories they're taking from here to here, because there's a lot of that is happening in the show where they're taking storylines from like future episodes and bringing them back into this episode, but then they're mixing it with another storyline that's going on. So you have like 3 storylines that are being that are like being pushed together and mushed together, and like there's literally one part, I don't want to go into detail what it is, but like essentially just kind of give a little bit of details on that. It's about like a spirit in a forest that's angry because the forest was being destroyed, essentially.
Okay.
And because it was being destroyed, he was also attacking like the villagers that surround this area. And in the animated series, like they have to find out how to essentially calm this spirit. And one way he does it, he takes an acorn and he like plants it, and like essentially to reassure the spirit that like from this a new forest will grow, right? But then in the show, it's kind of like he like plants it. It's like awkwardly done. He just like plants it in the ground, puts it over in front of this bear statue, and just walks away. And like, they just conclude that story just like that? Of course, I didn't finish the whole show. Maybe they'll come back to it later. But like, if that's how it is, then like, what are you doing? I don't know. It just seems like they're kind of brushing over very important aspects of the story. And also just how it's shot. After seeing Dune, like how this show is shot, essentially what I broke it down to, or what I narrowed it down to, is that this is essentially a CW show being that was sold to Netflix. Because CW,
was it actually?
No, it isn't. But in my eyes, I'm just saying, and how I came to terms with it is just assuming, in my mind, being like, okay, this is just basically a CW show, because CW shows are notorious, especially the superhero shows, are notorious for having like horrible CGI, like the not very good writing, and like the storytelling it was kind of tied to the writing is okay at best. The actors are usually like new actors that aren't really the best at what they do. They don't really.
That's kind of insulting.
Hey, honestly, there are so many scenes in this show where the Avatar is supposed to be crying, and like he's making a crying face, but it doesn't seem like there's any. It's almost like when a baby starts crying, you know how they make that face, and you know that in a split second they can go back to being happy, right? It's almost like that. And of course, he's a kid actor, right? He's like, there's only so much experience he has at this moment, but it's not believable at all, in my eyes at least, and especially for the other kids. But you know, maybe he was just the best person they could find at the time. I'm not going to get into that, but all in all, like it did remind me of a CW show, and that like the shots and the CGI and all that stuff takes you out of it, because you're like, that looks so disjointed. Like you'll have like a CG character and like a green screen background, and then a real actor in front in this one scene specifically that's coming to mind, and you can clearly tell that they're all on like different plates in different levels. So it just threw me off, and I couldn't like. You want to feel immersed in the story. You want to feel get lost in this world, but you can't because these things keep throwing you out of it. It's almost like two IPs that I was really connected to.
Yeah.
And one of them did it very well, and then one of them just like they did okay. Like it wasn't horrible, but they did okay, right? And I just I hope that they take whatever notes we have for the future seasons, because they're probably going to come out with future seasons. We'll see. I don't know how well the first season did of the Avatar Last Airbender.
Right.
Do you know about the Avatar Last Airbender?
I know it's probably one of the most recommended shows that I've gotten. So.
Oh, okay. There you go. So
I still
if you've gotten that recommended, probably a lot of people listening to this will probably have the same ideas or same gripes that I do. Unless you loved it. If you loved it, let me know in the comments. Because, I'm not really a big fan of it. I didn't finish it yet. But, we'll get to that. And, I had a lot of other issues with it. But the main point I wanted to make is that, like, after seeing that, because I watched Avatar first, after seeing how Avatar didn't get the same respect that I wish it did, and then seeing Dune, I'm like, okay, at least someone out there does care.
Yeah.
So that was a big aspect to it. Yeah.
Before we actually end this episode, so in like a week's time, it's gonna be Ramadan.
Oh yeah.
By the time you guys are watching this, it'll be like a few days away. I know last year we introduced something new called the Ramadan Series, where we kind of focused our content a little bit more around just like different concepts in our religion. And I think, I actually I remember really enjoying recording those sessions. I don't know if you I'm sure you enjoyed it too.
Yeah. I hated it.
You'd be like, damn, really? Should we cut that out? And so I know a lot of you guys, the feedback that we got was that for those of you that were giving up music, for example, during Ramadan, this was a nice alternative for them to listen to. So we're still in our brainstorming. We have to plan ahead for these types of episodes because we don't want to wing it. But if you guys want to see more Islamic content from us, especially for Ramadan, let us know. Next week we actually have a special episode not related to Ramadan, but maybe we can tie it in. We'll see.
We'll see.
But it's one that we've been wanting to film for a while. So in terms of Ramadan and the series and the content that you want to see from us, let us know. Maybe we can do an iftar mukbang or something.
What?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll see. I don't know.
Amir's
because the thing is, we've done this how many 2-3 times now? Because I think we even started our first when we first started the podcast. We started it right before Ramadan. So we were
fasting actually.
Were we fasting when we first started? Okay, we started literally in Ramadan.
But it wasn't Ramadan focused content.
Was it not?
I don't think so.
I think it was.
It was more.
It was because I remember making a cover, a Ramadan cover for the podcast at one point, and I think it was one of our first episodes.
Audios only, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So after so many years of going through Ramadan, there's only so much you can really cover. On it,
something new.
So essentially what we're trying to think of is a unique take on what we can cover during Ramadan.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So until then, thank you for listening to me. Just lay out my heart about both two IPs that I really love. Okay.
Can I ask you a question? What does IP mean?
Intellectual property. It's IP is it would be like Star Wars.
Okay.
Everything under Star Wars is the Star Wars IP.
Okay.
Another one would be like
Harry Potter, you said earlier.
Yeah, like Harry Potter. Everything related to Harry Potter is under the Harry Potter IP. Someone else can't go out and make another Harry Potter item without breaking their intellectual property. So if they made something that said Harry Potter on it, then they could have a right to be like, hey, stop making that or we're going to sue you kind of thing.
Okay, I get that.
So IPs are basically just everything under one branch, or those big names that you see out there, those big stories. Okay.
Understood.
But thank you again for listening, guys. I know this is another it wasn't too long, okay? But remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also follow us on Cousin Connection Pod. Oh yeah, we hit 10K.
I think we mentioned that last week.
Did we mention that? No, I think we were.
If we didn't.
Yeah, we hit 10K. This
which
week
is crazy.
on TikTok.
Yeah. We're actually 10.2 now, but we're climbing our way through Instagram and YouTube. So yeah, continue to subscribe to our channel.
Yeah, if you're on YouTube, go ahead to check out our Instagram. Even if you don't use Instagram like that, just go ahead and hit us on Instagram like that. You know, the numbers helps get our name out there. Inshallah, when sponsors start coming, you know, we can use these numbers to start funding the project and doing bigger things, you know.
Yeah, inshallah. We're excited for this year. There's a lot to come, but thank you guys again for all of your support.
And we'll see y'all next week. Bye.